Hello, sweet friends. Thank you so much for joining me for another WIP Wednesday. And we are going to continue working on our Thrift and Lift blanket. So today we are going to be starting on basket number 2. Just a recap of last week's fun that we got to experience is we had so many cool colors. So we had the white, and then we had this bright pink, then we had the camo, and then we had this one that was black and purple and light purple and bright green and more bright green. And we had such good picks last week. I am so thrilled with those that they gave a little pop of color. And the fact that all of them happened last week was so funny because I had been talking about how gray and white and everything, how much that was all lumped together. We had all the grays and whites, and then we had a little bit of color, and then we had grays and whites, and then we had this little chunk of exciting colors. So I'm happy with that, and I'm also really excited to see what it is that we're going to get this week and see if it's going to go back to the neutral colors or if it's going to continue being bright or if it's going to be a mix of it. I'm just really excited to get started on our next picks. So let's pick from a basket number 2. Got my, these baskets are getting low. They were full, like all the way full. So I'm excited to see what is in here because there's so many still hiding underneath. I'm gonna go deep in here. Ooh, we got red. Okay, so this one is, take off the sticker. This one was from Housewares, again, $2. Sticks. Okay, and I ripped the tag right off, so I can't see anything that says. But that's the label. If you're familiar with that one, let me know if you know this brand or if you know anything about it. It says that it is a medium 4 weight and you're supposed to use a 5mm hook. I don't know about you, but that does not look like a medium 4 weight. That's more like a 2 or a really thin 3 because it's not even, I mean, it's flat on one side. It's like almost like ribbon-like. So I have never used this before. I'm going to guess this is probably a 3. This is going to be held 3 thick. So triple. But open it. I think this one is a hank. So we are going to need to wind this one differently. So if you have not seen a hank before, it comes wrapped up like that, and you've got to unwind it, and it is open like this. So you can't just use it like this or it will get tangled. So you've got to wind it up into a ball for it to so it doesn't tangle. But this is the tie here, but I don't see. The tie is actually part of this winding. Normally the tie will hold both, or it will be wrapped around like that, and then you snip that so that you can wind it, but it looks like this is wrapped all the way around and they just tied the two ends together. That is what it looks like. So before I actually wind this up in a ball, I want to make sure that holding it 3 thick is what we want to do. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this to test that out and make sure that that's the thickness I want to do with it. And if that's the case, then I'm going to wind it up in a ball and go from there. I'm just gonna hang this real quick. Oh, I got a hook. How long has that been there? All right, so let me hang this up real quick, and then I'm going to do a test to see if 3 thick is going to be too thick or what I'm going to need to do. So I'm going to hang this real quick and do that, and I'll show you what I get as far as 3 thick goes and let you know what I'm going to do with it. I think 3 thick is fine. I would almost want it to be thicker than that, so I'm going to go with the 3, holding it 3 together like that. So it's going to be a little bit more airy than usual. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to attach it to our last color that we did and just continue with that. I'll give you some updates on the way. We are done with the red. It looks nice. Because I do not have the proper tools for hanks of yarn, that was a nightmare because I hung it on the doorknob trying to carefully unravel it. And I don't know if the yarn was twisted more than it should have been. I think instead of tying little strings around periodically, like typically happens, and then you cut it, I think that the yarn was wound around it a few times to try and keep it together, and I did not see that to unwind it, and I think that's what caused my problem. And I think it would have unraveled just fine on the doorknob being careful, but it didn't. So I probably took a half hour untangling it, and that was not fun at all. So it looks pretty. It's very shiny. I don't know if you can see that. It's very shiny. So I like the way it looks. I'm glad that it's done. And I think 3 thick was the way to go, even though it could have been thicker. I don't think I was going to do 4 thick on that one. So I'm glad that that one's done. So we're ready for pick number 2 from basket number 1. Oh, look at that. This is our first time that we are repeating a color. So this one is the black that we had down here. That's that black right there. So we are going to be repeating a color this time, and we have not had that before. So that's the first time that has happened. And I know that fuzz, my ring grabbed a fuzz. All right, I know this one is only 1 thick, 1 strand, because it is thick. It's almost like a cotton feel, and it looks like homespun, but it is very thick because it's pretty solid instead of fluffy the way that homespun is. So I'm going to do that, and we have our 3 rows maximum. So we'll see how far that goes, and I'll show you what the ball looks like at the end so that you can see how much we used. So I'm just going to attach it to this red and get started. I'll show you a few updates on the way through it. I am at the end. We've got my 3 rows of black. The other side, I'll show you. had the red underneath it, and that side had 2 of black and 2 of red. That looked nice. I like that. All right, so I am going to end this because I am at my 3 rows. I only have, oh, I have this much left. What is in the middle here? What is this? It's like a bobbin. That's how they started their ball. That's so interesting. That's cool. I've seen these before, but I've never had any. All right, so we have this much left. I think I will just do a couple more clusters. Since I did that with the camo, I think it worked fine. Let me just do a couple clusters here. So I didn't realize it was that small. And then we'll do our next pick. So we've got 3, our third pick will be from basket number 2. Basket number 2. So we will do that. Guys, I'm breaking my rules with the 3 in a row. But I think it's okay with this little bit left. I don't think it's that big of a problem. And almost. This blanket is getting so heavy. Like trying to transfer it from side to side and flip it is getting to be pretty heavy. Okay, so I've got that left. I'm gonna do my next pick. And we'll start on that color. That's interesting. Okay, so we got red. And then we got the black that we had. This was the second time for it. I thought it was going to go back in there a third time, but we finished it. All right. Let's see. Ooh. Was this one we used before? Is that the same one? Did we only use? That's the same one. Is this a second ball or did we? No, I think that this was a repick. We got 2 repicks in one day. That is so funny. All right, what did I do with this? I held it single. So I will start on that. Drop my hook somewhere. But let me tie this up and I'll give you an update once I do a few clusters. We are done with this velvety stuff that we've used for the second time, and we are done with that. I had this much left over, and this ball is wound very tight. So it is a very sturdy ball of yarn. So there's a lot left in here. But I decided let's do one more pick before we finish for the day. And we are on basket number 1. Ooh, I like this one. That is pretty. That might be 2 strands. Let's try it 1 and see. Let's see. try one, see how it goes. See if I need to double it up. I think I'm gonna double it. I think. We're gonna double it. That means I need to find the center pole. I think this one is probably wool. It's very itchy. That's gonna be my guess. Don't know for sure because there's no label. But it is on the itchy side. I'm going to start this one and we will see how far it gets us. I'll show you a couple stitches so you can see what it looks like. All right, let's take a look. All right, I like it. It's about the same thickness as one of those. That's a pretty greenish blue. Was it teal? What would you guys call that one? The teal-ish color. All right, I'm gonna keep going with this one, and I will show you guys what it looks like when we are all done with this skein. All done with the last color. So today was the red, black, gray velvet, and then this scratchy, I guess, wool, teal color. So I really like this this combo that we had, but these two were repeats. That's a really funny thing because we got one from each basket and they were both repeats from when we used them down here. So this was the black one, and then down here was the gray one. And this gray velvet is so soft. It's so soft, and we still have more from this one. But we are all done for today. Thank you so much for joining me for today's WIP Wednesday. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful week and you find joy in the little things.